Want to become a Python developer in no time? Yes. Is it possible? It is very, very possible. Yeah, I'm here to help you. These are 25 Python questions and answers that can help you to learn Python programming ASAP. So the first one we are going to be seeing here is write the Python program to print hello world. This is just the first thing that you're going to learn when you start learning Python, how to print a message. So to print hello world, and before we enter to get to that, if you want to be able to know, to have a complete knowledge about Python, Python programming, and also to become a pro in writing projects and in developing project, building projects, then make sure to subscribe to this channel. The channel is Code Global. At Code Global, the YouTube link is just below. You can be able to see on this same page. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, like and be able to share with others. So let's continue. So for you to be able to do that, the first question is to print a message, hello world. Here is how the output should look. The output is the answer is in front of you. You write it, print in the terminal, hello world, and then you're going to have the answer as what is given to you. The second question we are having here is write a Python program to calculate the sum of two numbers entered by users. Means that we are receiving these numbers from users. Like when you're having a game or any other thing, you're receiving the input from the users. So how do we write that? Very pretty simple. Can you learn how to do that? Yes. The answer is that we just choose two variables. For example, I've just named my variable. The first one is num1 and the first one is num2. These variables are just going to hold the numbers that the users are going to enter. So because I don't know whether the users are entering a floating point number, decimal number, or an integer, so I just use the float data type, because the float data type take both the integer and the decimal point number. And then I'm using the input function, because the input function is going to receive the numbers from these users, and it is going to do what? It is going to store it in this variable that is called num1 and num2. So both the numbers are holding, and then I declare another variable that is the sum result variable. That is the variable that is holding the addition of the num1 and the num2 variable. Then the last thing we need to do is to print that particular sum variable. We are printing the sum of that num1 and num2. So what happened? It is going to print now the sum of the two variables that we are having. Here is another interesting question. Write a Python program to check if a given number is even or odd. You want to know if the numbers you're having is even or odd. You're having a game or something you're building. How do you put that situation? It's very simple. Here is how we can do that. The answer is, see, we declare a particular variable that is called num. It can be anything depending on you. And I'm using the input function because I'm getting the input from the users. So now I am given a condition using the if statement. Say if the number modulo of 2 is equal to 0, modulo simply means is given the remainder. So if I take that number the user gives and I divide it by 2, and if the remainder is 0, then there will be a message that's going to print to say that number is an even number. Otherwise, the else part, that is the false part, is going to print to say the number it is an odd number. Hope you're getting it, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And one thing I'm going to make you to understand, try to follow this channel, is going to help you to understand is this. Make sure you subscribe so that you can go to the main channel, to the Code Global channel at Code Global, to be able to do what? To watch the Python full course tutorial, and also to be able to build projects also and work with it. The next one we are having in the list is write a Python program to calculate the factorial of a number. Yes, we know what is a factorial of a number. I want to calculate the factorial of a number. How can I do that? This is how the code is going to look like. This is the program. I'm calculating it using what? A function. The def keyword here is the keyword that is used to define. The def keyword is a keyword for function. We want to describe a function, to define the function. So I give the function name as factorial, and I'm passing one argument, one parameter inside, which is n. And I say if n is equal to 0, or n is equal to 1, return 1, because that is the starting point of my factorial number. Else, return what? The n into factorial of n minus 1. Because to have a factorial, to calculate factorial of a number, you have to take n. The first number of n is 1. Then you have to multiply by this. If you want to get the second number, factorial of n minus 1 means if I had 1, it's going to be 1 minus 1, which is what? Which is 2 minus 1, which is what? If I had 2 minus 1, which is 1, it gives me 3. That is how we go to do it. And then I'm declaring another variable that is num. I say, in this num, I'm having an int function that is holding the input function. That is to enter a number. Because I'm asking the users to enter the number. Then whatever the number the user is going to enter, I'm going to print the factorial of that number. That is why I say print factorial of num. Whatever the number the user enter, then it is going to display the factorial of it. If the user enters 3, we know the factorial of 3 is 6. If the user enter 5, the factorial of 5 is what? Is 1. It's 120 if I don't make a mistake. So that is just how it is going to calculate it. Then the next one is to write a Python program to find the largest among what? Find the largest among three numbers that you entered by the users. I want to find the largest among three numbers. So how should I do that? It is pretty simple. I just need to define three variables that these variables are going to hold the input of the numbers that the users are going to define. The first one is enter the first number, enter the second number, enter the third number. Then I use another variable that is called largest, and then I use the max function. But this max function, I'm going to have the num1, num2, num3. It is going to run through to check which one is the largest, and I'm printing the largest number. That is just how it is going to. So guys, hope this is clear. And I write a Python program to print all even numbers from 1 to 20. As easy as this. So is it easy for us to do that? Yes. The answer is in front of you. So I'm going to take a for loop. I'm using a for loop. I say for I in range 2, 21, and 2. Means I'm saying that word because we know it is even numbers. So it started from 2. We are printing from 2. You get it? And I'm specifying that from 2 to, when I say 21 means 21, 1 less, n minus 1, which is 20. So means it's going to print now for us to get it. Means it's going to assign the I variable is going to hold this is going to hold all the even numbers from the smallest even number till 20. That is what it is going to hold for us. So when I print I, that is what it is going to display. The next question we are going to be having here is write a Python program to calculate the sum of all numbers from 1 to a given number. Means I want to get the sum of all numbers from 1 to a given number. And before doing this, guys, if you have just stumbling on this channel for the very first time, why not subscribe to this Code Global? You know, click on it to get exciting videos. You want to get full detailed course about Python programming. You want to become a Python developer? Then this is the place for you. Please remember to like this video when you're watching it. Don't be the person that is just watching and enjoying, and just to click the like button is so difficult for you. Just click it to support the algorithm of this channel. So this is the answer. The answer is that I'm just going to declare a particular variable. The variable I'm declaring, I'm assigning to it the word the int function, which is holding the input function, and I'm asking the users enter a number, and then I'm also declaring another variable, which is a sum result variable that is holding the sum function. And instead of sum function, I'm passing the range function where I'm giving the 1 and then a num plus 1, specifying how I want it from the first one, and then it should start adding the next to the other. That is how it should go. So the sum of it, and I'm printing out the sum which is a sum result. Hope it is clear, guys. Keep your comment in the comment section, and remember to subscribe to at Code Global to be able to get notification for the rest of the videos, because this is just a playlist as it's going through, and also to watch other exciting videos in this channel about Python programming and also projects. The next question is write a Python program to check if a string is palindrome. It's a palindrome. We know what it means for a string to a palindrome. For a string to a palindrome means that it's a string that in both ways you can call the same string is going to pronounce and sound the same. So, for example, if you look at the example we are having on the screen, we have the radar. That radar, if you call it in the other side, it's still going to pronounce the same thing. So, for us to be able to get that, I'm just going to say, I'm declaring what? I'm just declaring the function here, the def keyword we know, right? So, def is palindrome. My function name is palindrome. So, I'm passing a parameter to it, which is s, and I'm returning the s, and I'm saying the s is equals to, I'm passing a particular list there when I'm saying that it is starting from anything. You get whatever the number you're giving, whatever the string you're passing. And in that string, I'm given a variable string that is holding the input function. I'm asking the users, enter a string. Whatever the string the users are entering, I say if the function, if the is palindrome string that you have passed, if it is a string that is a palindrome, then it should print the message to tell us that it is a palindrome. Otherwise, it should print the else part to tell us that it is not a palindrome. Hope this is clear. Let's continue. The next question is write a Python program to calculate the number of vowels in a given string. So to calculate the number of vowels in a given string, we know what are vowels, isn't it? We know it. So I'm just taking the function. I said def count vowels. I'm passing the parameters, which is what s, and I'm saying that I'm giving a variable. I declare a variable that is vowels. So I see that vowels, you say and then it can be in small letters or in a capital letters. That is why I gave both cases. And I'm returning the sum function. I'm returning that the sum, say one for car is in S, if car in vowels, you get it. If it is in vowels, whatever the string is passing, if it is there, and that string that I'm giving, I say I'm holding the string variable, and I'm saying the user should enter a string, because that string you're going to enter, whatever the string, it is going to search inside. It is going to return now the vowel sounds inside a particular string. So I'm printing now the number of vowel sounds based on the string that the user has entered. Is going to count the vowels and is going to return to all the string based on that vowel sound. I hope it is. The next one we are having is write a Python program to convert a string to uppercase. It is very easy, right? So I'm having a particular string. So the string, I'm declaring a string variable that is holding a string hello world. And then I'm saying I'm using the upper string. I'm using I'm using another variable that is upper string, and I'm passing the string function string. I'm passing, I say string dot upper function. You have to use the dot string dot upper, means I'm using the string variable dot the upper because we're using the upper method. That is the upper method that we have to use. Is a standardized method. So when I'm printing now, what happened? It is going to convert this particular string and it's going to print it, it's going to print the string for us in the uppercase. Is it helpful? Hope it is very helpful to you and it is very clear. So remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel to the at Code Global. And 11. Write a Python program to find the longest word in a sentence. Yes. So this is the answer in front of you, the program to be able to solve that particular question. I have three variables I'm going to declare. The first variable I'm declaring is a sentence. I just give it, remember the variable choice is your choice based on what you're writing. So I choose, in this sentence variable, I'm assigning an input function that I'm going to be asking the users to enter a sentence. And then I'm declaring another variable that's the words, and I'm assigning to it the whole sentence, the split method to be able to split the words that the user is going to enter in that particular sentence. And then how I'm declaring another variable that is called the max length variable. This variable, I'm assigning the max function to it, in which I'm intent assigning the length function for that length of word. Meaning that it is going to check the sentence that we have given, and it's going to traverse the words, and it's going to calculate the length of each word. It's going to find the length of each word for words in words. And then I'm printing, the last thing is printing the particular output. So I'm printing it to say what the length of the longest word in whatever the user has entered, which the max length is holding. That is what it is going to print for us. So whatever the sentence the user entered is going to traverse a particular sentence, take all the words for words, and it's going to print the longest of them. Okay, this is another way we can be able to solve the same problem. Now, the other way we use what to solve that particular problem, we use a different way. We entered here. Now we are going to use function. Now, in order to solve the same question, to find the longest word in a problem, we can be able to use the function. I'm defining, I said def longest word. So the def keyword is for the function to declare a function, right? So the longest word in the sentence. So I'm passing the sentence parameter, and then I say I declare another variable that is words. I'm giving the sentence dot split, and then I'm returning the max of that word. So the key is the length. Means that whatever the users have, whatever the word that we are having, whatever the users are going to they have entered, or whatever the word we are having, what happened, we are going to return the maximum of it. It means the length of that word, the longest word, the length of the word, the one that is having the longest characters. So we are printing the longest word. So now look, this is it. This is a different way. Now we are not asking the users to enter. I'm directly giving the word. I said the fox jumps over the lazy dog. So what is it? If you check inside now, the longest word is jump. That is why I put the hashtag jumps there, because that is the longest word. So you can still solve it using the function method to go with function, or you can go directly to solve the same situation. The next question we are having is write a Python program to implement a simple calculator. Very easy and very simple. To implement a simple calculator, this is how we can go. So now what is going to happen? I'm using the function. At the function I'm defining, I said def calculator. The calculator is a function name, and I'm having three distinct parameters, A, B, and operation that I've passed in, and I'm given a condition. I said if the operation is equal to add, if in case the operation I want to perform on that calculation is addition, which is equals to add, then return A plus B. If the operation is subtract, return A minus B. If the operation is multiply, return A times B. If operation equals to divide, return A slash B. If B is not equal to 0, else we are going to do what? If B is not equal to 0, else we are going to do else cannot divide by 0. Then we have else return invalid option. If in case the options that were listed above is out of the range, then return that. So now I'm specifying. I say print calculator. Instead I'm passing what? I'm passing the things I want to do. I'm giving A value as 5. I'm giving the b value as 3, and then the operation I'm giving there, I'm passing it as add. So if it is addition, we know 3 plus 5 is going to give us what? 8. If it is division, it is going to give us, if it is multiplication, it is going to give us, it depends on you, whatever the operation you're passing, either you add or you give addition, add, subtract, multiply, or divide. In the place of the operation, then you're going to get your output. The next question we are having is, write a Python program to check if a number is a perfect square. For me to check if a particular number is a perfect square, then I'm going to just define the function. The function name I'm given is perfect square. If it is a perfect square, I'm passing a parameter that is x, and I say return int, because I'm given a particular number. The number is an integer number. I say int x exponent of double means double asterisk means exponent of 0.5. Exponent of 2 is equals to x. Then what am I saying? I'm saying now print it is a perfect square. If it's a perfect square and I'm passing the value there, that is 16, and the output is going to give me is this. Is true, because 16 is a perfect square number, because 4 times 4 is equals to 16. I say print is a perfect square of 14. You see, is returning what? False, because 14 is not a perfect square. Hope this is clear, guys. The next question is question 14. Write a Python program to calculate the square root of a given number. You want to calculate the square root of a given number. Is it possible? Yes. So I'm importing math package from the Python library. It's okay. So I'm declaring, I have two variables I'm going to declare. The first variable is a num variable. This num variable that I'm declaring, I'm passing a float function to it, and in that float function, I'm passing an input function that is going to receive, say, what the users are entering. I say enter a number. So the users can enter either an integer or a floating point number, means a decimal number. And I say I want to calculate the square root. So I'm using the square result. That square result is just a variable. Then I'm holding a particular function on how to calculate the square root. So math dot square of num is going to give me square root is just sqrt. That's it. The square of the function. So I'm putting the num, because that num variable is holding the value, whatever number that the users are going to enter. And then the next thing I'm doing is that I am printing what the square root of. I'm printing the square root of that particular number, which what the square result is holding. So it is going to print. So for example, if the user enters what? If the user enters 25, and then therefore means that it's going to give us the square root of 25 is what? Is 5, right? That is what it's going to give us. If the user enters what? 9, the square root of 9 is what? Is 3, right? That is what it's going to give us. So the next question is question 15, which is write a Python program to calculate the power of a number. So if you want to calculate the power of a number, and while you're watching this, don't forget to keep a like in this video. So write a Python program to calculate the power of a given number. So I'm declaring what I have 3 variables I'm declaring. The first one is a base, because you're calculating the square root of a particular number. There's going to be a base, and there's going to be a base number, and going to be an exponent number, right? So I see the base. I'm asking the users to enter what? The base. Base means a number. They want to calculate the power of it. So the base that we are having here, I said I'll give a float. It can be an integer value, or it can be a floating point, means a decimal value. It's okay. That's a number. And then the next variable I'm passing here is an exponent variable. I just gave the name exponent. It can be anything, base. I'm giving it based on what I'm working on, so it sounds familiar. So float, I'm asking the users to also enter the exponent. For example, if my base is 5 and I want to calculate 5 to the power 2, means my base is 5, and then my exponent I'm asking the users to enter should be 2, isn't it? So 5 square means it's going to be 5 square, and which is 5 square. I'm giving another variable that is power result, means it's going to do the exponent for us and bring it. So if my base, so it's going to assign base exponent of that exponent that I gave as a variable. So if my base is 10 and my exponent is 2, then it's going to give me a result of what? When I print the result. Power result is going to give me 100, because 10 square is going to be 100, isn't it? If my base is 3 and my exponent is 3, then it is going to give me what? 3 raised to the power 3, which is going to give me how many? So 3 times 3 times 3, which is how many? That is 27, isn't it? That is how it is going to give us. Let's continue. The next question is, write a Python program to find the maximum element in a list. So I want to find the maximum element in a list. I declare a particular list. That list, I'm having elements inside. I have 10, 25, 7, 30, 15. It can be anything. It can be any number. You get it? So I just keep it short to make it simple. So I'm declaring another variable that is a max element. So because that is a variable, I want to know the maximum element inside. Because if we look inside the list with our naked eyes, because the list is very small, we can easily tell that the maximum element is 30, isn't it? What if the list is very huge? Can you be able to tell? No, it will be difficult for you to go through it because the numbers are mixed. It's not like it's in the chronological order that you say this one, oh, because it's ending at this. No. Then I'm using the max function. That max function, I'm passing that list variable in it because it's going to traverse inside it. And when I'm printing the maximum element of the max element, then it's going to give me an output of 30. So this is how you can be able to do that. And if you're still watching this video, guys, you have not yet subscribed to this channel. If you're watching me on YouTube, please subscribe to this channel, okay? Like the video, share with others, and comment in the comment section. So the next one is write a Python program to calculate the area of a circle with a given radius. Now you want to calculate the area of a circle with a given radius, means they are going to give us a radius that we are going to use. Now what I'm doing is that what I am asking, I have three variables I've declared. The first one is the radius. I'm asking the users to enter the radius. So now I'm saying, for example, I say enter, I'm asking you as a user, I say enter the radius of the circle. So the user, let's say the user is going to enter the radius as well, let's say 3. And then the next one is area. You know the formula to calculate the area of a circle is pi radius square, right? Pi times radius time, then to the exponent 2, isn't it? That is a mathematical formula to calculate it. So we know this is a math problem. That's why we have math.p and I import math form. I've already imported math from the Python libraries, isn't it? That's a package. So area is equals to I'm assigning the value of, so this area is holding the value. Why the radius is holding the value that the number the users are going to enter as their radius. It can be any number depending on whatever they want to, the area they want to calculate. And then I'm coming to calculate it. We know that pi is 22/7, but automatically when we write math.pi, it picks it inside. The interpreter understands that it's 22/7. Then times radius, the radius that the users are going to enter, because that radius variable is holding that radius that the users are entering, and then exponent of it, means a square of it, isn't it? And then when we print the area of the circle, then we have area, means that what? It is now going to print now whatever the area variable is holding. Okay. Hope it is clear. Let's continue to the next one. The next one is write a Python program to replace the occurrence of a character in a string. Now I have a string. I want to be able to replace the character in it. I have a string here. There's a variable I've declared here. I say string. This string variable is holding, is assigned to it what? Hello world. Is holding the hello world string. Now I'm declaring another variable that is new string. This new string variable is holding what I've assigned to it, string.replace. Remember, this replace is a method. So the way you take the variable name dot is going to give you various methods. So the method I want to use here is replace method. What is it? I want to replace the small letter L with a capital letter L. So you write the whatever that is there, and then with what you give a comma. And remember, I have to put them in quote, what a double or single quote. You get it? Then I'm printing out the new string. So when we print the new string, we are going to have hello, but now hello world, but in the hello, the double L is going to be capital L, and then in the world, the L is going to be small, is going to be capital L. So if you are understanding this thing as you're watching, make sure you can practice also as you're learning it, because it's questions and answers that are going to help you in your interview also. For you to go to when you're going for your interview, Python interview, question and answers, is going to help you also to learn how to build things, to understand how to write Python codes. The next question is, write a Python program to convert a string to an integer. The answer is, now I'm having a string in front of me. The answer is, I'm declaring two variables. The first variable is the string num, str_num. That's just a variable name to make me to understand it better. And I'm assigning a string to it. We know anything that is in a double quote is a string. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it is a string because it is in a double quote. I assign it to that particular variable. Then I'm declaring another variable that is int num, and I'm assigning to it an int function. If you look at it very well, there's an int function that I'm passing the string num to it. Meaning I'm passing that string, I'm converting it, that is typecasting, I'm converting it to what? To an integer number. Then the next thing we have to do is to print it. So we are printing the int num. And int_num, I'm printing it, and when we print it, we are going to have the result just as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see like the hash, that hash is just to comment in Python. That is to show you that's output. Hope is clear. So the next question we are having is, write a Python program to calculate the area of a rectangle. We know what a rectangle is all about. And for a rectangle, I'm using a function here. I said depth area of a rectangle. The depth keyword is the keyword that's used to declare or define the function, isn't it? We know that. If you don't know anything about function, please head over to, you see the link below on this video. Head over to Alcode Global in YouTube. You're going to see a Python full course. The full course for Python is there. So I declare it, and I'm passing two parameters to it. I'm having the length and the width. So I'm returning the length times the width. That is what I want to return. So printing, we are printing the area of a rectangle, and I'm passing two arguments to it, which is 5 and 3. Obviously, it's going to be 5 into 3, and the output is going to give us 15, isn't it? That's good. So if you have not liked this video as you're watching it, please make sure to click a like on it, okay? Click a like in the video, share with others and comment. And if you have not followed us, please click the plus button to follow us. Or if you're on YouTube, please click the subscribe button to subscribe to the channel. The next question we are having here is, write a Python program to mesh two dictionaries. We know what a dictionary is, right? If you don't understand it, go head over to YouTube. You're going to see you're going to understand there's a topic, there's a video about dictionaries, list, tuples. You're going to understand it very well. Write a Python program to mesh two dictionaries. So to mesh two dictionaries, I'm having two dictionaries here. The first one is dic1, which is I'm assigning, that's the dictionary, the key and the pair. We know dictionary is key and pair. So I'm having A, the value of A is 1. B is the key, the value is 2. And I'm having dic2, that is dictionary 2. I'm assigning to it. So B again, you see, I'm assigning B again is 3. C is 4. Now I want to merge. I'm taking another variable that is merged. I say merge is equals to, I'm opening now and say I want to merge dictionary 1 and dictionary 2. Then the next thing is to print now the output. So I'm printing out the mesh, because that mesh variable is holding the output. So what are we going to have? The output is going to be, if you see the hash here is the output. The output is going to be A1. A is going to be having the value of 1, B the value of 3, and C the value of 4. Somebody will be asking me, why is it I didn't take B as 2 up there? Because we have B in both of it. No. When it's taking it, as I told you, Python reads line by line. We encounter B up. As it comes to encounter B again, it takes the new value of B and it assigns to it. That is what it does. Okay. Then the next one we are having here is, write a Python code or program to count the number of uppercase letters in a string. It can be a code, it can be a program, because what the answer is, I'm going to define a function here. So def count uppercase. So I'm passing a parameter to it, which is s. So I say return 1 for car in string. If the car is case, if it is case, if it is there, you return it. And then print. Now we are printing it, and I'm passing. I say print count uppercase. And what am I printing? That's what. That is our function name, right? And I'm passing that particular argument, which I'm passing to it, which is get wave. Now, if you search inside this particular, you see that we have only one word. We have only one word, one uppercase letter. That is why it returned 1 to us. Hope it is clear. Let's move on. The next question is, write a Python program to find the intersection of two sets. Now we are going to be having two sets. We want to find the intersection of them. We know in mathematics, the intersection means what is common in both of them, isn't it? So I'm defining a function that is intersection. That is the name of the function. So set1 and set2, those are the two parameters I'm passing to it. And then I'm returning a set. I'm return set1 and set2. It has to return for me. It means that it has to check inside the set1 and set2. It has to check for the ones that are common, and it's going to return a new set for us, isn't it? So I'm printing it, and when I print, I say print intersection. The intersection is a function name that we know. I'm passing now the arguments to it. So the first set I'm passing is 1, 2, 3. The second set I'm passing is 2, 3, 4. So it is going to go traverse inside it, and it's going to search for the common elements. The elements that are common in both sets. So the common elements are the intersection elements, isn't it? So what is common in both is 2 and 3. 2 and 3 is common in both. So that is why it's going to return to us. You see that hash there, that means that is the output, 2 and 3. This is clear. Let's move on. So the next one we are having here, okay. So write a Python program to check if two strings are anagrams. Means that they're saying if two strings are equal, everything with them is equal. So now we say I'm defining a function. I say def, I say anagrams. I'm passing two parameters because there are two strings, so I need two parameters, string 1 and string 2. And what am I returning? I'm returning a sorted string 1 and equals to sorted string 2. Means that the two strings should be equal in their characters, in their spelling. Everything should be equal between these two strings. So now it's the time to take the input now from the users. So I say string one is equal. I'm assigning to string one, I'm taking an input function, asking the users to enter the first string. So whoever be the user, I say enter the first string. So that first string I'm assigning to a variable that is called string one. And I'm asking the users to enter the second string, and I'm assigning to a variable that is called string two. Then now I'm given a condition. I say if anagrams, if the string, if string one and string two are anagrams, means that if they are equal in everything, spelling everything, then it should print that they are anagrams. So it should print anagrams. Else means that the false part, if in case the two strings are not equal, because maybe they might be equal in length or other things, but they're not equal the same. For example, if I have string, the second one is string, it should give return to me that they're anagram, right? It's gonna have string and I have dance, or I have string one and have string two. They are not anagram because there's a two, there's a one that is different, isn't it? So it should return to us that not anagram. That is how it should return. Now, the last question we are having in this one, Python 25 question and answers is write a Python program to capitalize the first letter of each word in a sentence. Can we do this? Yes. So now I'm defining a variable that is called sentence. I'm assigning to it hello world. So now I'm defining another variable that is capitalized sentence. So it's equals to sentence dot title. Now I'm printing the capitalized sentence. When I print it, it's going to give me as hello world with capital H and capital W. Hope this is clear, guys. So finally, we have come to the end of this our Python 25 Python question and answers to learn Python and also for interview, because when you know this is going to help you for your interview. So please, if you want to know more about